In the heart of ancient Rome, where marble gleamed and the Tiber flowed, justice was swift and merciless. Among the city's cruelest punishments was one reserved for the gravest sin, parricide, the killing of a parent. In 101 BCE, a mother named Publicia Malleola faced this fate, her story etched in history as a chilling testament to Rome's brutal code. This is her tale, a mother, a crime, and a punishment so horrific it haunts us still. Rome in 101 BCE was a city of contrasts. Temples soared, markets buzzed, and senators debated in the forum. Yet beneath the grandeur, a rigid patriarchy ruled. Women, even mothers, were shadows in the law's eyes, valued for duty, not voice. Publicia, a widow of modest means, lived with her young son Lucius in a cramped insula. She was known for her weaving, her hands deft, her heart heavy from loss. Her mother, Claudia, a sharp-tongued matron, shared their home, her demands a constant weight. Publicia's life was one of quiet endurance. Claudia's scorn over Publicia's widowed state, her son's frailty, gnawed at her. One night, in a haze of despair, Publicia poisoned Claudia's wine, a desperate act to silence her tormentor. The old woman's death was swift, but suspicion fell quickly. A neighbor, hearing Claudia's cries, alerted the vigils. Publicia's guilt was clear. Her motive, a mother's breaking point, was irrelevant to Rome's unforgiving law. Parricide was Rome's ultimate betrayal, a crime against family and gods. The 12 Tables, Rome's ancient code, demanded retribution. The Poena Cullei, or punishment of the sack, was decreed for such sins. Publicia, as a mother, faced not just death but a spectacle of shame. Her trial was brief, held in the forum's shadow. Senators and plebs alike gathered, their eyes cold. Publicia stood silent, her son's sobs echoing in her ears. The magistrate's voice boomed, "Publicia Malleola, you have slain your mother, defiled the sacred bond." No defense was offered. Her status as a woman, a mother, sealed her fate. Lucius, barely 10, clung to her in the crowd, but soldiers tore him away. The crowd murmured, some pitying, others jeering. The verdict was unanimous, Poena Cullei. Publicia's heart sank, knowing the horror that awaited her, a punishment unfit for any soul. The Poena Cullei was no mere execution. The condemned was scourged, their body broken, then sewn into a leather sack with live animals, a snake, a rooster, a dog, and a monkey, each a symbol of the crime's vileness. The sack was sealed and cast into the Tiber, drowning all within. For Publicia, a mother, the punishment was a public erasure, her role as nurturer twisted into a mark of infamy. Rome demanded her suffering be both agony and spectacle. In a dank cell beneath the Mamertine prison, Publicia awaited her fate. Her body was bruised from flogging, her spirit frayed. Priests chanted, invoking Juno, goddess of motherhood, as if to mock her. Lucius was barred from seeing her, his cries haunting her dreams. The executioners prepared the sack, the animals' snarls filling the air. Publicia whispered prayers for her son, her only solace in the darkness of her final hours. At dawn, Publicia was led through Rome's streets. The crowd lined the Via Sacra, their shouts a cacophony of judgment. Her torn tunic barely covered her wounds. Soldiers dragged the sack behind, its contents writhing. Publicia's eyes sought the sky, the gods' mercy absent. At the Tiber's edge, the crowd grew silent, sensing the weight of what was to come. A mother, once a weaver of life, now faced a death designed to horrify. The executioners bound Publicia's hands, her body trembling. The snake hissed, the rooster crowed, the dog growled, the monkey shrieked. She was forced into the sack, the animal's claws and teeth tearing at her. The leather was stitched tight, her screams muffled. The sack was hurled into the Tiber, the current swallowing it whole. The crowd watched as ripples faded, some whispering of justice, others of a mother's despair, drowned in Rome's cruelty. Publicia's death was meant to deter, but it stirred unease. Lucius was sent to a distant relative, his mother's name forbidden. The forum buzzed with debate. Was the punishment too harsh? Some senators, fearing divine wrath, offered sacrifices to appease the gods. The Poena Cullei lingered in Rome's laws, but its use was rare, its barbarity questioned even then. Publicia's story faded, her son carrying her memory in silence. In Rome, mothers were revered yet powerless. Publicia's crime was heinous, but her punishment exposed the paradox of her role. She was expected to nurture, yet her pain was ignored. The Poena Cullei stripped her humanity, reducing her to a cautionary tale. Other women, wives, daughters, faced similar fates, their stories lost to time. Publicia's death was a mirror to Rome's soul, reflecting its reverence for family and its capacity for cruelty. Over centuries, Rome's punishments shifted. The Poena Cullei waned, replaced by exile or beasts for parricides. Emperor Constantine, in the 4th century, specified only snakes for the sack, softening its horror. Yet the principle remained. Family bonds were sacred, their violation a public sin. Publicia's case, recorded by Livy, marked the first known use of the Poena Cullei, a grim milestone in Rome's legal history. Rome's justice was class-based. Slaves and humiliores faced the worst fates, crucifixion, beasts, or mines. Publicia, a plebeian, was spared crucifixion, but not shame. Her punishment was a spectacle, like gladiatorial games or public floggings designed to reinforce order. The animals in the sack symbolized chaos, their inclusion a ritual to restore balance. Yet, for Publicia, a mother, the chaos was personal, her life unraveling long before the Tiber claimed her. Publicia's story is not just one of punishment, but of a woman caught in Rome's web. Her crime was born of despair, her death a warning to others. Yet in Lucius's heart, she remained a mother, flawed but loving. Her tale, though rare, reminds us of Rome's dual nature, its grandeur and its savagery. To speak her name is to honor all mothers who suffered under Rome's yoke, their voices drowned but not forgotten. As the Tiber flows today, it carries echoes of Publicia's fate. Her punishment was Rome's attempt to define justice, but it revealed its cruelty. We stand far from 101 BCE, yet her story asks us to question, what is justice when it destroys a mother's humanity? Publicia's life, her crime, her death, are a call to remember not just Rome's laws, but the women who bore their weight. Let her story linger, a warning and a prayer for a kinder world. This is the story of Publicia Malleola, a mother who faced Rome's most brutal punishment. Her name, once erased, now speaks through time. Let us hold her memory, and with it, the truth of a civilization that built empires on the backs of the silenced.